you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Yeah. Okay. Who else? China. Stop yelling at me, but China. Good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody? No? Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. Not worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela?
Hey, Shalom, brothers. Shalom. This is Brother Howard of GMS Toronto, coming back with another one. And my answer would be the Caucasian, who is the biblical Edomite. They are the cancer to the earth that's reaping havoc and destroying the earth day by day and hour by hour. So I want to start off this lesson by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Quadash. And let's get a scripture right away. Now this is Revelation 11 and 18, and it reads, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear the name, and them that fear thy name." Right? So anybody tells you that we don't have the name, they're lying. Because how are you going to fear the name if you don't have the name? Okay? It says, "Small and great, and shouldest destroy them, which destroyeth the earth." So let's go back to the video. Let's rewind. Because he asked a great question. The distraction that's going on right now, the mental psyop on the world, is that they actually think that this whole Venezuela situation is actually playing out for the liberation of the Venezuelan people. And the only thing that's happening is one of the greatest armed robberies is taking place right before your eyes. And you people are complicit. You're complicit in the rape, robbery, lies, murder of the whole entire world, of the whole entire globe. Okay? Because what's happening is that all of the resources that are going to be taken is going to be given to a very small group of people. The U.S. military, the Air Force, all branches of government, they work for the international bankers. Those people that went over to Venezuela, the government, the intelligence agencies, they all get paid in fiat currency. Okay? So who's going to get the resources? A small group of people. We dub them as the international banking cartels. Right? Starting with a major house like the Rothschilds. They're going to benefit. You people, when I say you people, I'm talking about the American citizens. You will never benefit from the armed robbery, right? It's like if somebody goes and, he does a crime. If somebody else does a crime, they're not going to give you a reward. You're not even a part of the team, okay? And then for you Venezuelan people, the ones that are rejoicing, your rejoicing is going to turn to mourning very soon when you see who is actually in your country. That is not someone who could save you, right? You, the Venezuelan people, you are biblical Israelites. Well, the aboriginals of the land, right? A lot of you are Israelites. Not all of you, right? Some of you are Edomites, right? But a lot of the darker, and it's not about skin color, it's not about skin tone, But a lot of the darker hue, right, the ones that are living very poorly in that beautiful land with all the resources, right, with all that wealth, and you've never benefited from the wealth of the place that you reside in. But then another man from another country, which just so happens to be the richest country in the world, or a first world country as they dub it. But if you're a first world country, then why are you coming here and stealing what's ours? Okay? That was a straight up theft that we watched on our TVs. And for anybody that think that it's a celebration, you are complicit in that armed robbery.
What would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody?
The Edomites. The Edomites are the biggest threat on the world stage due to the way that you've treated animals, due to the way that you've treated people, okay? Due to the way that you've treated the air, due to the way that you've treated the land, due to the way that you treated the water, okay? You are the most dangerous threat to humanity that has ever existed. And we could go all the way back to to the beginning of the world, right? We could go all the way back to the beginning of a major empire. We could go back to the Egyptians. We could go back to the Persians. We could go back to the Medes, right? And there won't be a time where these nations have polluted the earth in such a manner to where they have a hatred against trees, right? They have a hatred against the water to where they poison the water. No, only you have done that. You've been so demonic that you are actually a destroyer of life. That's why your push towards AI and robotics completely makes sense. Because you're adverse to life. You're adverse to nature. You're adverse to humanity. You'd rather interact with AI or robotics. You Edomites, you don't want a real life girlfriend, flesh and blood. You know, somebody with, you know, real skin, real vagina. No, you guys want made up genders, or you want, you know, robotic girlfriends, or you want men that have transitioned into women and now they are claiming to be that. This is the madness of this fucking sick, demented world. So they are the threat, the great existential threat to humanity.
What would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Yeah. Okay. Great. Who else? China. Stop yelling at me, but China is a good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody?
Hey, and what are they in this classroom doing? They're in this classroom plotting, right? This is how they plot. That's why one of my favorite TV shows growing up was The Pinky and the Brain. And in The Pinky and the brain was always plotting, okay? And that's what the Edomites, the devil, that's what they do. All they do is plot, they research, okay? They do their espionage, you know, where they go and, you know, they get footage, they get data on the goings and comings of people, of things, right? That's one thing you have to give the Edomite. He's very diligent in his search. Now this is Psalms 64:1. It says, or reads, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Okay, so everybody's not our friends. We have enemies. Verse 2 says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay, there are different council meetings, right? In Psalms 83, it lets you know that they come together in their great councils to discuss what? To discuss their insurrection. Let's get the word. Let's get the word real quick. This is the word.
Insurrection.
And it means a violent uprising against an authority or government. And that's us. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay? Verse 3. Because really and truly, these Edomites, they're the rebellions. They're in rebellion to God. Right? Yes, the 2/3 of Israel is as well. Yes, we are the disobedient children. Yes, we are the stiff neck. Okay? But these Edomites are in insurrection as well. Okay? Just look at how they're living. Okay? It's not like they're living righteously. They're not. So verse 3 says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Okay? Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares. Let's go back to the video. That's what they're doing. That's what all these people in this room are doing.
Oh, anybody? No? Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. A little worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela? No threat? Okay. Let me ask you this. Which one of these places can claim to have the largest oil deposit on the planet? More than Saudi? More than Iran? Wow. Okay, what about things like gold? More than all the mines in Africa combined? The fact is that Venezuela is arguably the single greatest resource of oil and minerals on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst? What would you assume?
Right, so verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Right, they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Exactly, because everything they do in secrets. There are different secret council meetings where they discuss shit like this. This is just a scene from a TV show, right? But this is actually what they do in real life, right? Not just in classrooms, but in their different secret meetings that they have, wherever that they have it, whether it's Bohemian Grove or wherever else around the world that they link up, the G20s, wherever they link up around the world to say, yo, listen, we got the order from on down. We got the order from the illuminated ones, and they told us, yo, this is what's going to happen on this date in 2026. So we're just letting you guys know, be prepared. It's a part of the script. And this is what I'm going to need you guys to do. Simple. To accomplish whatever goal or agenda that they need to accomplish. Verse 6 says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Exactly. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. They don't play around when it comes to their research, man. These Edomites are very, that's why they're able to give you all these numbers.
What would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia.
Hey, and this is how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to think. This is strategy. Okay, this is very strategic. This is how you deal with things. Not just your enemies, but everything in life. Everything in life is a strategy. There needs to be a strategy on how you do everything. There could be a strategy on how you spread your bed. There could be a strategy on how you fold your clothes, right? What is more efficient, okay? That's one of the buzzwords of 2025. Okay, efficiency. And the reason why that's one of the buzzwords is because these Edomites were trying to figure out how to make their life or their business, right, their traffic, their trades, more efficient. And they found out that what's more efficient is AI and robotics over humans, right? They did their diligent search and they found out that human beings, they get sick, they die, right? Which can be a lawsuit if you die on the job. They get in interpersonal relationships, okay, even with higher ups, which can look bad on the company as well. They get pregnant. That's another time off, right? They have to get vacation time. They have rights, okay, which is you have to get a lunch break. You have to get this break, okay? So the elites, they said, no, we can find a way to make this more efficient, right? And how do we know that? Because before they switched to AI and robotics, what did they do? They brought their businesses over to the third world countries, China, India, Taiwan, Vietnam, Pakistan, right? They brought a lot of their business to South Asia and they got rich because they found out that they can pay the different South Asians, the different third world countries, a lot less than what they were paying the Americans, okay? Or the Canadians, okay? And in those third world countries, they didn't have unions. So they didn't have to worry about debts. They didn't have to worry about long days. They didn't have to worry about strikes. They didn't have to worry about shit like that, man. It was all about efficiency or the bottom line, okay? Because really and truly, that's what it comes back to. It always comes back to the earnings, okay? You have 4 quarters in a year. And in every quarter, these Edomites want to get richer and richer and richer while the other people, right, get poorer and poorer and poorer because what you're getting paid with is actually not even real money.
That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, and this is all the narrative. This is how they sell the narrative to the world and push the narrative in the world. They're teaching you the narrative so you think it's actually real. The reason why people are saying Russia, the reason why people are saying China, right? The reason why they're even saying these things is because they've already been programmed. They don't understand Russia, China, they're all a part of this great theater, right? Russia is locked in. All you got to do is look at their flag, okay? You know that they, through their flag, you know that they are a Masonic organization or a Masonic company, which means that they're linked to who? They're linked to the elites, right? They're bought and paid for as well. Same thing with China, okay? That communism, that structure, that the communism that they're using is the banker's favorite form of government. That's the word, government, right? That's how they control people. Democracy is a great way to control people as well. The Romans used it, okay, to where the poor feel like they have rights or feel like they have a choice, right? That's the biggest confusion in this modern world of democracy, is that you poor people, you actually think that you have rights and you actually think that you have a decision or a choice in the matter. You actually think that your vote counts. And that's the farthest thing away from the truth. You poor people, your vote does not count. And even if your vote did count, what would that mean? How do you benefit from these men being in office? Okay? How did you benefit from Donald Trump? How did you benefit from Bill Clinton? How did you benefit from Obama? Okay? When you go back to the legacy of these men, you know who always benefits? the international bankers, okay? Always through bailouts, through laws being passed that benefits their companies, okay? That's who benefits from these talking heads, these empty suits, okay? Obama was an empty suit. He's a puppet. He was controlled. And the same goes for Trump. Trump is an empty suit, okay? Everything that he is doing right now is due to the power of the elites. If the elites didn't want him to do that, he couldn't have done it. It was done because the elites wanted it done, and he got it done. Because remember, one thing that everybody was bragging about Trump in his first term was, oh, he just wanted to do business. He did not want to go to war. Well, he's looking like a wartime president now. Now this is Genesis chapter 27, verse 38, and it reads, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Okay? And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling place, no, Salakia, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Okay? Going into what? Rulership. Okay? He's going to gain dominance over the earth, which is going to be what? His heaven, which is a representation of rulership. That's it. Verse 40. And by the sword, okay? And by thy sword shalt thou live. Okay? And that's very important because that's why these Edomites, they cannot put the sword down. The sword is their power. When you go and you watch the video of the U.S. entering Venezuela, that's a sword, right? That's not no joke. That's a serious power, man, right? And they did that quickly. They did that quick. They went into a man's country quickly and swiftly while they watched it on TV like a video game, man. That shit is power. Don't ever get it twisted. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, right? Esau just has dominion now, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, right? Because we used to have the Edomites under our foot, okay? There was a time where these Edomites, they were in their proper place, right? Which is a servant. The scripture says, I have seen servants upon horses, right? The horse representing power. So servants with dominion, servants with rulership, okay? On horses, and seen princes walking as servants, okay? So the roles are reversed in this upside down world. Upside down, around, around, upside down. Boy, you turning me.
Anybody agree with her? Yeah. Okay. Who else? China. Stop yelling at me, but China is a good answer.
Yeah, and that's what I said. That's all made up too. That's all narrative. China has been one of the best friends to the New World Order plan. And the fact that they created China as a second boogeyman after Russia is hilarious. China has done the biddings of the elites so amazingly that they get awards from the UN, right? That's something brothers could research. Do your research on that. Study all the awards that China has gotten due to their one-child policy, okay? Their one-child policy, China got awards for that. That was a part of the global elites' agendas when they were trying to reduce population, and China did such a good job that it has affected, and it is going to affect their economy for the rest of their existence, because that one-child policy, they used to delete young ladies and only keep the boys. But now, obviously, you cannot sustain a society that has mostly men because of population, right? You need women to reproduce. Damn retards, man.
Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North
Yeah, that's fake. That's a whole narrative as well, right? This great threat, North Korea, Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il, that's all a big joke. But then you have Donald Trump, and that guy used to be good friends, or maybe they're still good friends, right? The leader of North Korea used to be friends with fucking Dennis Rodman. Like, man, if you guys don't see how this whole shit is just a farce, then there's nothing we can do to enlighten you to the truth. That's not our job.
Yeah, takers. And Venezuela? Anybody?
And why did they say Venezuela? Because after all of that, Venezuela, this was pre-planned. What was pre-planned? The robbery of the world. That's what they've been doing. It's been happening all throughout the world, right? It's happened to Jamaica. It's happened to Mexico. That's why Mexico is a part of America. It's happened to Brazil, right? It's happened to different parts of the world. This is what they do. It's happened to Iraq. It's happened to Libya. This is what they do, okay? This is their game plan on repeat, right? It never changes. It's the same thing over and over and over again, okay? Same plan, over and over again, being executed right in front of our faces, okay? And then you have a few people that you see celebrate. Oh my gosh, we're free from Maduro. Oh, he was so wicked, he was so evil. And he probably was, right? Because he's a puppet of the elites as well. He's a puppet. He's not just some rogue actor that just came on the scene. It doesn't work like that. You can't be a rogue actor and just come on the scene of this great movie. It doesn't work like that, man. They will clip you out of the scene real quick. That's nothing for them to clip. They clipped a friggin' United States president on live TV. You guys are fucking with some of the most dangerous people on the planet Earth, man. A sitting president got assassinated on live TV. There is nothing that these elites won't do to make sure that their agenda is going to be fulfilled. Nothing. And the only person that can stop them is one man, and his name is Yahushua. Okay? That's it. Nobody else. Now this is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 3. And we're going to end it off there. And it reads, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee." And that's going into these devils, man. Going into their think tanks, going into their deep research facilities, their scientists. And these Edomites are wise. Obviously wise in wickedness, but it's still very wise. Okay? Research is something that everybody should practice to where you can gain understanding of something from a bird's eye view. Okay? To where you can understand something without getting emotional about it. Okay? Understand yourself, how you work, how you think, how you tick. Right? So, with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. I like to say double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well, and to the brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Only to the elect, to the 144,000 and the 1/3. Shalom to you and to you alone.